Ladies and gentlemen, your head tables for the AUSA George Catlett Marshall Memorial Dinner. Colonel Dennis Doherty, United States Army retired, AUSA 1st Region President. Command Sergeant Major Douglas Gibbons, United States Army retired, AUSA 2nd Region President. Chris McBride, AUSA 3rd Region President. Gus Rodriguez, AUSA 4th Region President. Command Sergeant Major Rick Morris, United States Army retired, AUSA 5th Region President. Colonel Phil Stage, United States Army retired, AUSA 6th Region President. Colonel Sam Thiessen, United States Army retired, AUSA 7th Region President. Colonel Benjamin Lookfar, United States Army retired, AUSA Pacific Region President. Chief Warrant Officer 3, Anthony Williams, United States Army retired, AUSA European Region President. Chaplain Major General Thomas Soljan, Chief of Chaplains, United States Army. Philip Sakowitz, Jr., AUSA Vice Chairman for Civilian Affairs. Lieutenant General David Oley, United States Army retired, AUSA Vice Chairman for Retiree and Veteran Affairs. Master Sergeant Leroy Petrie, Medal of Honor recipient, United States Army retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Phyllis Wilson, United States Army retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. Mitch Snyder, AUSA Council of Trustees. Mark Roulet, AUSA Council of Trustees. Andy Hove, AUSA Council of Trustees. Frank St. John, AUSA Council of Trustees. Major General Patricia Hickerson, United States Army, retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. Lieutenant General Jack Stultz, United States Army, retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. Lieutenant General Larry Jordan, United States Army, retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. Leanne Currett, AUSA Council of Trustees. Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Grinston. General Dennis Reimer, 33rd Chief of Staff of the Army, United States Army, retired, AUSA Council of Trustees. The Honorable Rudy De Leon, AUSA Council of Trustees. General James McConville, the 40th Chief of Staff of the Army. The Honorable Ryan McCarthy, Secretary of the Army. The President and Chief Executive Officer of the Association of the United States Army, General Carter Ham, United States Army, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 awardee of the George Catlett Marshall Medal, and our guest of honor, General Martin Dempsey, the 37th Chief of Staff of the Army and the 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, United States Army, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Marshall Dinner head tables.
Holy shit, there's a lot of people here tonight. I don't think they came to see me, Marty. I think they're here. Hey, we're really thrilled that you're here for the 2019 General George C. Marshall Medal presentation. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors, our national anthem, and the invocation by the Army Chief of Chaplains, Chaplain Soldier.
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
General George C. Marshall got it right and captured the essence of this evening when he said that soldier's heart, the soldier's spirit, the soldier's soul are everything. In that note, please join me in a word of prayer. Lord God Almighty, everlasting Father, we pause to thank you for this time, for your provision and your abundant blessings. Thank you for the inspiration of those who have gone before us, and help our leaders as they guide the Army into the future. As we care for soldiers and families, help us to understand the essence of leadership that brings hope and life to the soul of the Army. Since the founding of our country, men and women have fought to secure the liberty to which you have called us. We have trusted in you for guidance, wisdom, and insight, and you have sustained our soldiers and families for over 244 years. Continue, Lord, as you have since the founding of our country, to fortify the Army, to protect and defend our republic, and ensure victory for years to come. Holy God, fuel our hearts, guide our spirit, and restore our souls. And may the lamp of liberty shine bright on our nation and the United States Army. To you be the glory and the honor and power forever and ever. Amen.
Thanks, Chaplain Soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. What a week, huh? Not bad, not bad. General McCuistion and her team report that over the past 3 days, we've had well over 32,000 people attend the AUSA annual meeting. That's a big number. And during the annual meeting, folks have joined the association. We now have over 162,000 members in our association. Well done, well done. It has been a remarkable week, learning about America's Army, ready now and investing in the future. We've had great speakers, we've had wonderful family events, exciting floor demonstrations. We've had the eSports team, the X-Tech Search, the Warrior Fitness team, and in case you hadn't heard, we learned that winning matters. I'd like to take a moment and first of all thank each and every one of you for attending this evening, but call out a couple of special folks that have joined us. We are truly honored this evening to have 3 recipients of our nation's highest award for valor, the Medal of Honor: Lieutenant General Robert Foley, Master Sergeant Leroy Petrie, and Staff Sergeant David Bellavia. You know, one of the things that's striking about each of those 3 heroes is they don't think they're anything special. We know different. They are truly special, and we're honored that they're joining us tonight. We have several members of Congress have joined us this evening. We're very proud of that. Representative Don Bacon from Nebraska, Representative Anthony Brown from Maryland, Judge Carter from Texas, Representative Trent Kelly from Mississippi, and Representative Joe Wilson from South Carolina. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. A number of former secretaries of the Army have joined us: the Honorable Louis Caldera, the Honorable Patrick Murphy, and the Honorable Robert Speer. Gentlemen, thanks for your continued leadership. We have a number of former Chiefs of Staff of the United States Army, the 32nd Chief of Staff of the United States Army, and a recipient of the Marshall Medal himself, General Gordon Sullivan. I'm told that General Sullivan knows a little bit about AUSA. The 33rd Chief of Staff of the United States Army, General Dennis Reimer. The 34th Chief of Staff of the United States Army and the 7th Secretary of Veterans Affairs, General Eric Shinseki. The 36th Chief of Staff of the United States Army, General George Casey. And once again, the 37th Chief of Staff of the United States Army, General Martin Dempsey. To keep all those generals straight, former Sergeants Major of the Army are here. The 13th Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major of the Army, Ken Preston. Where are you? There he is. The 14th Sergeant Major of the Army, Ray Chandler. And the 15th Sergeant Major of the Army, Dan Daly. I'm told that the happiest guy in the room tonight is Ray Chandler because he's no longer the junior former Sergeant Major of the Army. That's right. I'd also like to thank, after this extraordinary week, take the prerogative of being at the podium and thank the AUSA National Staff, General McQuistion, General Swan, Sergeant Major of the Army Preston, and their extraordinary teams for putting together an absolutely wonderful week. Thank you for that. And as many of you know, AUSA is a volunteer organization. Our region, state, and chapter presidents, if you would please stand, thank you very, very much. If you were here last night at the Gary Sinise conference or concert, you knew you had a great time. There was another minor event occurring not too far from here. The National League Championship Series, lots of Nats fans, and this is for you, Nats fans. I know, Chief, somebody said winning matters. The Nats got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your dinner, enjoy one another's company. We'll see you back here shortly for the program. Thank you. Good evening, and once again, welcome to the 2019 George C. Marshall Medal Awards dinner for a wonderful evening. Hey, how about a hand for that wonderful staff, the Convention Center staff, a wonderful meal. All right, who was here Monday morning for the opening ceremony? All right, was that cool or what? All right, so Major General Omar Jones and Command Sergeant Major Woodring, the soldiers of the United States Army Band and Chorus, the soldiers of the Old Guard, the Military District of Washington, they put all that on. They've been putting this together all week long. Extraordinary work by all the soldiers and civilians of the Military District of Washington. How about a great round of applause for all of them? A special thanks to Brigadier General Amy Hanna and the Office of the Chief of Public Affairs and her team for all they've done over the past many months in preparation for tonight. A great team. And the two, present company accepted, the two hardest working people at Headquarters DA, Lieutenant General Walt Pyatt, the Director of the Army Staff, and Miss Kathy Miller, thank you for extraordinary support to make this so successful. Really is a family effort and a team effort, and we thank everyone for that. Well, as you know, we are assembled here this evening, united in our love of country and the profession of arms, concerned about America's security and its role in maintaining stability and peace throughout the world. We take inspiration from the highest qualities of statesmanship and leadership which have been evident and present in the thoughts and actions of General of the Army George Marshall, to whose enduring memory this dinner is dedicated. As we look back at some of the distinguished citizens who have received the Marshall Medal, we're encouraged by their example in guiding our great nation and our Army through arduous times. Names like Eisenhower, Bush, Powell, Brokaw, Scowcroft, Becton, Albright, Sullivan, and the American soldier. These recipients distinguished themselves as presidents, as statesmen, ambassadors, cabinet secretaries, generals, and countless generations of soldiers, patriots, one and all. This year, another such person joins their ranks as we recognize a truly distinguished American soldier, General Marty Dempsey, an inspirational leader. Absolutely right. An inspirational leader leading by example. Doesn't have to tell us what's right. He shows us what's right, as he has for generations. An unselfish, compassionate, but yet tough leader and commander. He's joined tonight by his wife, Deanie, who is the strength that underneath him. Daughters Megan and Caitlin, and son-in-law Corey. Thank you all for the Dempsey family for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce to you the 2019 Medal of Honor recipient, my friend, the 37th Chief of Staff of the United States Army, the 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Marty Dempsey.
Would General Dempsey and Mr. De Leon please join General Ham at the podium? The Council of Trustees of the Association of the United States Army hereby awards the George Catlett Marshall Medal to General Martin Edward Dempsey, United States Army retired, for selfless service to the United States of America through his extraordinary career in uniform and his continued service to our nation. Admired for bluntness, vision, and character, General Dempsey exemplified wise, steady, and conscientious leadership during more than 4 decades in the United States Army. He commanded at the troop, battalion, regiment, division, and combatant command level, accumulating 42 months in combat during Operation Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom. His roles became ever more demanding, including serving as the 37th Army Chief of Staff in an appointment that lasted only 149 days because he was quickly selected to serve as the 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Described by his peers as someone who exudes quiet confidence and boundless energy, General Dempsey was a model of someone who believed leadership was both a commitment to the people he led and acceptance of responsibility for the outcome. He was a strategist who knew how to focus on choices and consequences, a leader who emphasized the value of duty, and a humanist who displayed how trust and humility were invaluable traits. Since his retirement, he continues public service, teaching ethical leadership as a Rubenstein Fellow at Duke University and serving as chairman of the board of USA Basketball, the organization representing the men's and women's national teams. In his own words, "The best leaders help us use our time to reach beyond ourselves." For this sentiment, and the many other guiding acts and thoughts he's provided, for his integrity and ethics and devotion to our nation, we present our highest award, the George Catlett Marshall Medal, to General Martin Dempsey.
You know, thank you, by the way, Carter, thanks so much, and Rudy, thank you so much for the honor. Thank all of you for turning out tonight. But I am kind of self-aware. If the Nats hadn't won last night, I might be looking at half of the number of you in this audience. It's really an incredible honor. You know, before the picture of George Marshall was up there, and many of you know that in my office, when I became chairman, I asked the Center for Military History, or one of the places in the district where we archive photographs and things, for a picture of Marshall. And it felt to me in my office, it was about that big. And I would often sit at my desk, and you know how certain photographs can be a little bit deceiving and unnerving, and they feel like they're looking at you. And I honestly always had the feeling that Marshall was looking at me. And I couldn't tell whether it was a look of admiration, disdain, or disbelief, but I did have the feeling that he was looking at me. So this particular award means a great deal to me. I want to start by thanking, Carter, you and your team, you and Christy both personally, because you've always been so kind to Deanie and I and to our family. We've been good friends through the years. I will tell you, when I retired, I intentionally moved to North Carolina. Where's my North Carolina table? And, you know, we did that because we had fallen in love with North Carolina when we were there as a graduate student. Also, frankly, I wanted to get a little bit away from Washington, not so far that I couldn't get back if I needed to, but far enough where I could say, ooh, you know, I would love to help you out, but... And then I went off the grid for a while, but one day, I think it's at least 6 months ago now, when Katie, my daughter, is my executive assistant, which is really another way of saying firewall. And one day she said, "Hey, General Ham wants to talk to you." And I thought, shit, he found me. And then I thought, yeah, I wonder if he's going to ask me to like sit on a commission. Because when I was the chairman, we put Carter Ham through some of the most difficult, dangerous commissions ever conceived by the United States government. And I thought, he's going to get me back. And then she said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "Okay." Then I thought, damn it, he's going to ask me for money. Everybody's asking me for money. But I thought, you know what? Carter Ham's been so good to me. I said, "Go ahead, give him my phone number." So he calls me and he says, and with some trepidation, I answered the phone. And he said, "Chairman, if you would honor us, we would love to present you the George Catlett Marshall Award." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, that is the award, you know, certainly for anyone in retirement. And so I was very touched by it. And so this evening has a very special meaning, Carter, for my whole family, really. And also, by the way, for those of you on whose shoulders we climbed for 41 years to be recognized tonight with this award. And it was really interesting coming down the rope line. I don't think that's what we called it, but when you're standing in line waiting for everybody else to get seated. A lot of you said, "Hey, I was with you in here, and I was with you there." And I can't tell you how touching it is to have someone, first of all, to be remembered is pretty cool, but secondly, to be remembered with a certain degree of fondness. So this award, which I've just accepted and am now wearing, is clearly an award that has been earned by a whole bunch of people. So, Carter, much more important, though, than what you've done for Deanie and I and for our family is what you've done for our Army, you and the Association of the United States Army and your predecessor, Gordon Sullivan. AUSA has been an incredible combat, we call it combat multiplier for our Army through the years. And look, I'll be honest with you, I think in the future, the Army is going to have some heavy lifting to do. And so this relationship between AUSA and our Army is something that's going to be, I think, even more important in the future than it may have been in the past. When I retired, one of the things I wanted to do was find another family. You know that the military, you're all out there, many of you still in it, and it's all about relationships. And so, you know, the things you'll remember, I hope the things you remember right now, but certainly the things that you'll remember when you take the uniform off are all about relationships, almost like a family. And so one of the things I wanted to do was find that second family. It's hard, by the way, but I looked around and I did. I managed to do it. And the three things in my life that I would describe to you as my second career, second family, are Duke University, the National Basketball Association, and USA Basketball. And they're all represented here tonight. Tonight, the president of Duke University, Vincent Price, is here, as well as the athletic director, Kevin White, and they're over there someplace. And I thank you for making us part of the Duke family. The National Basketball Association, where I do some consulting on leader development, social responsibility, youth programs, is represented by the Senior Vice President for International Player Development, Kim Bahuni, who just came back from China, so she hasn't been busy at all. And then USA Basketball, which is all of our international programs from age 14 to the Olympics, men and women, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, is represented by Sean Ford, who's back over there someplace at one of those tables. And they've been absolutely great to me. I also want to mention that my brother's here. My brother was the Deputy Director of National Intelligence for Jim Clapper, and there were moments in the sit room where I was on one side of the table and he was on the other. And my memory of that is that I gave good advice and he was kind of reluctant to give any advice. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. He was in the Army as an artilleryman. He couldn't get in the tank corps. And then he got out and went into our intelligence community. Let me tell you something. The intelligence community in this country is magnificent, and it's represented by my brother. So it's a little hard to describe what something like the Marshall Award might mean to you, and in this case to me, but since you invited me to speak after giving it to me, I should at least give it a try. George Marshall is an icon of service. There's no better way to say it. And service to our nation. Perhaps only George Washington probably helped us understand and contributed more to our understanding of what it means to serve than he did. And we all know that. However, few of us, maybe none of us, talk about the service and sacrifice of George Marshall's wives. Elizabeth, who died in 1927, and Catherine, who died in 1978. Elizabeth went through World War I with George Marshall, and Catherine went through World War II. Like all of us, General Marshall promised his wife, Catherine, a quiet life in retirement. Just kidding. As the story goes, the day after that he resigned from his position as Chief of Staff of the Army in 1945, Marshall got a call from President Truman, who asked him to go to China as his special envoy the day after. Now, we don't know exactly how the conversation went with Catherine about the possibility of going to China, or later about the possibility of serving as Secretary of State, or later still about the possibility of serving as Secretary of Defense. But what we do know is that he went to China, he became the Secretary of State, and then he became the Secretary of Defense. We do know that they served on together. My conversations with Deanie through the years haven't been quite that lofty, but they were moments when we had to reflect on whether there were limits to our willingness to serve. And in those moments, Deanie was there for me, for our soldiers, and for their families. So, I accept this award, fully aware that without Deanie, I wouldn't be standing here tonight. Thank you, Deanie. I love you. Now, as you've all heard, all three of our children served in the Army. Our son, Chris, is currently deployed with his tank battalion, 166 Army, the oldest tank battalion in the United States Army. But our two daughters, Megan and Caitlin, are here. And I want to thank the two of you and Chris in absentia for what you've done to support your mom and I through these years of service. And here's what it reminds me of. We really accomplish very little in our lives by ourselves. That's part of what the George Marshall Award means to me. Just last spring, I became aware that the last player chosen in the NFL draft, number 254, is called Mr. Irrelevant. This is true. You can Google this. Thank God for Google. It's done good-naturedly, of course, but it got me to thinking about one of the things that makes me most proud about our Army. In our Army, no one is irrelevant. Good-naturedly or otherwise. We make sure that the day that they put on the uniform and swear an oath to our Constitution, that America's sons and daughters feel like they belong to something important. We make sure that they know that we value their contributions. We give them something in which they can believe in a world in which it can sometimes be hard to believe in anything. That may very well be our most important contribution to the nation. And that's part of what this Marshall Award means to me. When President Truman asked General Marshall to remain in Washington, D.C., and forego the opportunity to lead the invasion of Normandy during World War II, Marshall replied simply, "I will give you the best I have." He would give that same answer 3 more times in his career. The best we have. That's what our country needs. That's actually what our country deserves. Bloom where you're planted, my Irish immigrant grandmother told me long before I put on the uniform. When she said it, I don't think I really understood exactly what it meant. When I first stood on the grassy expanse called the Plain at West Point in July 1970, I began to understand it. Here's the point. We don't expect perfection of those who serve in our Army, but we do expect perfect effort. And that's part of what this Marshall Award means to me. I was at a battalion change of command ceremony recently, and in her remarks, the incoming battalion commander had this to say to those she was about to lead. "I'll provide the guidance, tireless effort, unwavering support, and the resources you need to do your jobs. All I need you to do is care." That really stuck with me. Is it possible that everything we need to do comes down to that? Something as simple as caring? Actually, I think it does. The best soldiers and the best units that I've ever seen are the ones that care the most. They care about the mission. They care about protecting the innocent. They care about each other. They care about their reputation. They care about their families. And that's part of what the Marshall Award means to me. For some reason, the other day I started to think back on my life in 15-year increments. I think it must have been that, my classmates and I, don't get nervous, I'm going to say something about you. You should erupt at that point in time, but not before. We're getting ready to celebrate our 45th reunion, or 45th anniversary of our graduation from West Point. So I started thinking about my life in 15-year increments, or it could have been just because it would have been too damn painful to try to do it 1 year at a time. But in any case, think about this. Here we are in 2019. 15 years ago, in 2004, I, like many of you in the room, was in Baghdad with some of the bravest young men and women I've ever known. 15 years before that, 15 years before that, in 1989, I was in Germany when the Berlin Wall came down, and the Soviet Union right along with it. 15 years earlier, in 1974, I graduated from West Point with a band of brothers who would soon be asked to rebuild the Army following the Vietnam War. And some of them are here tonight. Pride of the Corps. 15 years before that, in 1959, President Eisenhower began working on the famous farewell address that he wouldn't give until 1961. It went through 21 drafts, and it was in that farewell address that he warned the nation about the military-industrial complex. More about that in a moment. And it was also the year when Alaska and Hawaii came into the Union. Now, though it was before my time, if I bounced it back 15 years before that, we'd be talking about the Normandy invasion in 1944. Now, here's why I thought that was interesting, and I hope you agree. When I thought about the passage of time like that, it all seemed like a blink of an eye. I mean, especially the part that was from now back to 2004. It feels like it was yesterday. So, what about 15 years from now? If my quantum leaps backwards seem to pass so quickly, I have to assume that the next 15 years are going to pass pretty quickly. To 2034. Now, I know, 2034. Imagine the changes that we'll see in the next 15 years, 2034. And here's the question for us all. Will we be ready? So here's my answer. In my judgment, the answer is yes, but. Back to Eisenhower's warning. Eisenhower worried that by joining forces, the military and industry would grow too powerful and threaten our democracy. I actually worry more that the military-industrial complex, those with new, and especially those with new and emerging technologies, could drift apart, making it impossible for us to work out the complex challenges that we will face in our democracy. We're doing well, but well may not be good enough. My worry is exactly the opposite of Eisenhower's. If we're going to be ready for 2034, we have no choice but to work together. We have no choice but to trust each other. And there's the yes, but of it all. We can be ready, but only if we trust each other. And not just industry. If we expect to be ready for 2034 or 2020 for that matter, we're going to need to build an unshakable coalition with our allies, with our sister services, with academia, veteran support organizations, and nonprofits. We are. We're going to need to build broad and deep public-private partnerships so that we can see, understand, collaborate, and execute better and faster than our potential adversaries, whether those adversaries are nation-states, rogue groups, natural disasters, injuries, illnesses, or disease. If we expect to be ready in 2034, it will take this group in this room to act less like colleagues and business partners and more like a family, committed to the same values, to the same interests, and willing to give the same effort. So it comes back to this. If we're going to ask perfect effort of our soldiers, then they deserve perfect effort from us. And that's part of what the Marshall Award means to me. That same beloved Irish grandmother also once told me that the dinner speaker at a large event like this is a bit like the corpse at an Irish wake. It's important that you have one there, but you shouldn't really expect too much out of them. So I will end my remarks by simply noting that I'm humbled to receive the award named for this great American. I'm honored to be listed among those who have received the award in the past. And after spending time with you tonight, I'm confident that our Army will remain both effective and honorable in the service of our fellow citizens. Thank you.
General Dempsey told me at dinner that he was asked recently, how would you define success? A lot of different answers to that question. I would tell you one measure of success of the quality, the capabilities of the cohort that comes behind you. And I got to tell you, Marty, that I and many in this room were shaped by you, by your example of selfless service, your example of living by the Army values, your example of being a leader of strong character, and I suspect George Catlett Marshall is proud tonight. Thank you very much. Okay, that's probably enough seriousness. How about welcoming downrange and Sergeant Major Crystal Reams?
I'm General Marty Dempsey, 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I just dropped in to say, go Army, beat Navy. I've been in the Army 40 years. I didn't join the cavalry to be cool. I didn't become a tank commander to make a statement. I just liked it. That's a rough-looking goat. Now, I think that's Old Bill. 75 pounds of Navy pride. I can respect that. But not today. Step aside, Old Bill. Thanks, Bill. Go Army. Beat Navy. And you've experienced it already, I'm sure, you know, overcome your own challenges and got back, you know, it's like Chumbawamba. I get knocked down and I get up again, right? But I'm trying to connect to the kids here.
Yes. That might have been their fathers.
Well, look, at their age, you don't want me to break out into Uptown Funk you up, do you? Don't believe me, just watch.
Upon that list, she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Something just like this. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Well, I want something just like this. Well, I want something just like this. I've been reading books and more, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unfolds a suit before he lives. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some Baby, lay on back and relax. Kick your pretty feet up on my dash. No need to go nowhere fast. Just enjoy right here where we are. Who knows where this road is supposed to lead? We got nothing but time. As long as you're right here next to me, everything's gonna be right. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, so come and ride with me, ride with me. See where this road goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be.
I don't mean to be so uptight. My heart's been hurt a couple times by a couple guys who didn't treat me right. I ain't gonna lie, ain't gonna lie. Oh, I'm tired of the fake love. Show me what you're made of. Boy, make me believe.
Oh, hold up, girl, don't you know you're beautiful? And it's easy to see.
If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, so come and ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, so come and ride with me, see where this thing goes. So come and ride with me, see if it's meant to be.
Maybe we do,
Maybe we don't,
maybe we will, maybe we won't.
if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, so come and ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, if it's meant to be.
Would you like to hear him sing a song, and could we prevail upon you to end with me?
This is how I always end up on YouTube. Where at least I know I'm free.
Come on.
I love you. Anchors away from the halls of Monte, caissons go rolling, off we go. One of those. They love to hear Papa sing. I'm telling you, no blarney, the likes you've never known. Come on, pay attention, man. Your heart. At some point in this song, you will pick up the chorus, and I will point to you, and you better deliver, because I'm the chairman. Green alligators and long-necked geese.
So, sir, we thought it was only fitting to ask you, since you're the singing general, maybe you would grace us with a song? No pressure. No pressure.
Now, I'm retired. There is no pressure. I do want to say two things. One is, you probably saw some of the young TAPS kids in the picture, and I should have mentioned that I really have 4 new families in my life, because number 4, which is really number 1 in our hearts, is TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and Bonnie Carroll. Where's Bonnie? And you remember I said about the public-private partnerships? These nonprofits do things that we just can't do ourselves. The government cannot do it. And they pick it up and do it. And so God bless. Second thing I want to say, these are my guys right here. Army's Got Talent. I know, Simon Crowell thinks it was America's Got Talent. Nope. It's Army's Got Talent. So, Voices of Service. So here's why I wanted to say something before I have them start the the introduction to a song near and dear to my heart. I will sing this song if I can get a commitment from the really senior people in this room to never touch any of our Army bands. Now, you remember I said that I don't have any pressure? He does. No, I know, sometimes the budget gets tight, but I gotta tell you, God help us, God forgive us if we ever do away with the soul of our Army, and oftentimes that's our bands. So let's sing something, you know, I want to sing something to try to help overcome this hostile takeover of the Army by people from Boston. Let's do it. You don't think we planned this, do you? Yeah, we're in the playoffs. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes, they're actually Cole Haans, are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in the city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. Now if you know it, sing along. New York, New York. I wanna wake up in the city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the list, a number one, king of the hill. These little town blues are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. And if I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York.
Now, sir, before you leave, I just wanted to say what an honor it's been all these years to share the stage with you and to witness firsthand the healing impact that an open, caring heart can have on everyone you meet. I feel such gratitude for you and Mrs. Dempsey for reminding all of us that a truly fulfilled life is one of love and service. Thank you, sir. So this next one's for you, sir. We ready, band?
You don't get to go anywhere, though.
Can't go anywhere. money and air I've had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, at last it was but none to me. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whatever before, and gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all.
Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're dying for me till to stay, and all the sweethearts that e'er I've had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all.
So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whatever befalls, and gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whatever befalls, and gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass and drink a health whatever befalls, and gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you
Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Army downrange. Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Army downrange.
How about that? Hey, General Sullivan, I don't remember you singing like that when you got the medal. Hey, Sergeant Major, let's ask. You think they got one more? Sergeant Major, you got one more?
We always have one more, sir.
Okay, thank you. Downrange.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with my family by my side,
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American
Downrange. Truly awesome, truly awesome. Okay, all right, Mr. Secretary, Chief, SMA, that's it. All right, that's the annual meeting 2019, but guess what? It's less than a year. Be right back here, October 12th through 14th, 2020 for AUSA 2020. All right, let's close this out with our song. Please join in our song.
March along, sing a song with the army.